in debate, the Honourable Member for Kenora.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. When a mass grave containing the remains of 215 school children was discovered in Kamloops, it sent major shockwaves throughout the nation. However, for many Indigenous people, though the discovery opened tremendously deep wounds, it was not a surprise. According to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, at least 3,200 children died while attending residential schools. As I understand, Madam Speaker, that is 1 in every 50 students. The mass grave in Kamloops is not the only site in Canada interring the remains of Indigenous children who were forcibly removed from their families. Madam Speaker, this is Canada's national shame, and it is the incomprehensible and unfortunate reality that has impacted families across the country. Survivors of residential schools remember the horrors of being taken from their parents and being removed from their communities and their cultures. Tragically, many of these survivors remember friends and diseases such as tuberculosis, or due to negligence.
I apologize to interrupt the Honourable Member, but we seem to have an issue with your internet connection. There are some freezing moments. Sorry. Yes, it's Kenora, but still, we have the screen freezes by moments, and the sound is cut quite repetitively. Is there any way you can perhaps go to another spot in trying to get a better connection? No?
As I am here, I'm hardwired in. I don't think I'll find a better connection right now.
Okay, we'll continue. Let's try. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and my apologies for that. As I was saying, many of these children, they were victims of abuse who fled the schools and died alone as they tried desperately to get back to their parents. Madam Speaker, many know the story of Chani Wenjack, a young Ojibwe boy from Martin Falls who, at the age of 12, attempted to escape from a residential school in Kenora. He tragically succumbed to the conditions and died in his attempt to get back home. The National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation states that over 70 Indigenous youth died while at residential schools in the Kenora area. Madam Speaker, we also know that many families were treated with contempt in their time of grief. Parents of these young victims were routinely denied information about how their children died and weren't able to reclaim their bodies to say a proper goodbye. For the reasons I've highlighted and many others, residential school survivors and their descendants continue to live with the trauma of their experiences. Madam Speaker, Canada's Parliament needs to show our commitment to reconciliation, and as I understand, the government is currently deliberating what next steps should be taken. Yesterday, the Leader of the Opposition respectfully submitted recommendations of some of the actions the government could take to assist communities in this time of sorrow. We recommend developing a comprehensive plan to implement TRC calls to action 71 to 76 by July 1st, funding the investigation at all former residential schools in Canada where unmarked graves may exist, including the site in Kamloops, ensuring that proper resources are allocated for communities to reinter, commemorate, and honor any individuals discovered according to their wishes, and developing a detailed set of resources to educate Canadians of all ages on the tragic history of residential schools. Madam Speaker, I would note that the aspect of education is one that I believe is greatly important. I am the youngest member of this Parliament. I'm one of the likely few who did learn a little bit about residential schools during my education. However, it was not till I was nearing the end of high school that we truly began to learn some of the horrors and some of the true history that had gone on. And Madam Speaker, I remember feeling a sense of shame, a sense of embarrassment, for lack of a better word, that so many of these horrific incidents occurred just down the street from where I live and from where I grew up. Yet I had no idea until I was nearing the end of high school. Madam Speaker, that's completely unacceptable. And I believe that that's why we need to continue to have a stronger focus on education for all Canadians, but especially young Canadians. Madam Speaker, I know my time is drawing to a close, and I would just say it is my hope that the government takes sincere consideration to the proposals that our party has outlined, and I look forward to seeing what other actions they may take